Hey everyone, and let's continue with the backtesting. So again, I only encourage you to watch this video if you actually did simplified backtesting, okay, with my strategy or with your strategy. So actually it's really important that you open your own chart, use this framework that I present and go and backtest, okay. Once you do it, you can move to the next stage. And again, this stage is about simplified backtesting, but not to the extent that we used previously. So what we want to see now is that we need to take a big amount of price action. So let's say something like this. And we roughly look at the market that, so maybe we will start somewhere here. So the market moved down, then moved up with some down movements, and then overall moved up. So we just take this rough look and play somewhere here, and then just analyze, knowing overall, yes, that overall the market will move up from here. But first, it will create a move down, then up, and then down again and up. But we will use 4 hours as our entry time frame and daily as our overall bias time frame. The strategy will be the same, a basic shift of structure, mitigation of a zone. On 4 hours you can use internal structure as well. And of course, for the gold, for stocks, for silver, we need to understand that sometimes when it goes, then it goes, and sometimes it's really easy to miss the entry. So in some cases we'll be more aggressive with the entries. One more thing, that this test will include trailing management. So I will use this kind of management. I will have a break, then move to break even. Then I have a confident break, move, stop loss. Confident break, move, stop loss. And so on and so on. So I just want to show you a different style of management, okay? Okay, so let's analyze what we have on yearly chart. And of course, on yearly is just the market that created a push to the upside. We are already after the break, so at this point we can expect some kind of a pullback, and this is what actually is happening. We don't know where the price will go, but overall, until this holds, we can expect the price to be bullish. And of course, we have some interesting zones below us. And what's interesting about this zone is that when the market went above this point, it went down to mitigate the overall zone here. So this zone can be an interesting one, and then it has an imbalance. So let's have this zone as an overall target, okay? Overall target from yearly for this local down push. And we have first shifts of internal and real structure on monthly, and then we have some bearishness on weekly. So overall we can follow some bearishness at least until we hit this one, or we create good bullish shifts on daily. So on daily right now we are of course moving to the downside, creating some cycles of redistribution, again pushes to the downside, to the upside. And recently we created this down push, then inside structure, broke again, broke up once, twice, and then broke down again, mitigated the zone, broke down, broke up basically, but with a really shallow close, so this could be treated as a liquidity grab. And now we are breaking down after redistribution. So happy to follow bearishness until this holds, okay? Until this holds, or we create a new break to the downside. The problem with downside now is that we are too far down. We are after the break, so the move already happened. So now we need this pullback, or ideally even higher pullback. in these zones or in these zones on daily. Let me refine to this week. Okay, so we have a tap into refine zone, holding this impulse, and now if the price wants to push up, it will just push up from here. But if it wants to go down and tap me with my sell stop, so if it wants to go below this level, I will be in the market. So it taps me and basically just takes me out for -1. So I will just take a re-entry here if we push below the candle and protect myself here. So this is a break-even level for me. Okay, this is a break-even level, and let's see what the market will create. So we create a push to the downside, one more push to the downside, and now I need to decide either I want to trail more aggressively or I want to have at least internal high. And as we discussed, we want to have at least internal high created and then a break to the downside. So something like this, and I can trail now to here. So this is my trail. Now we have one more break to the downside and I can trail to this level. So one more break to the downside and we trail to this level. And I think this will take us out from the trade. Actually we're still in the trade. And so now after several consecutive breaks, I usually, what I will do when I trail is start to trail more aggressively. Why? Because when you have several consecutive shifts in the market, the next thing that you need to expect is this, okay, or this liquidation of these highs before moving up. So this is called the redistribution, and this is a thing that happens it happens all the time in the market. So I will trail to this high and wait for the close of the trade. Okay, we break even lower, so trail to here, trail to this one, like this, trail to here, and we keep pushing with the gold. Yeah, so this is something with the gold, with the stocks, with the silver. Yeah, if it goes, then it will usually go and not give you much more entry probabilities, possibilities. So for instance, in this wave, I can see entries maybe here. So you have a break and an entry, or this one. But the problem with these two is that they are low down in the move, and I mean the possibility of liquidation is really high. So we keep pushing even lower, so I'm happy to trail to this, and now we are taken out from this trade. So let me quickly record the results. So this is a simple journal that I'm using, just recording profit R, how much the trade ran after that, so I can analyze and decide if I need to tweak the management, and then approximate trail MFE. It means that how much it could be trailed with a bit different style. So just collecting data, tracking the quality, and that's all. Like I will not even for this one will have screenshots, but I really recommend you to just go and put your screenshots here, so just so that you can go back to the trades and analyze them, or record a video and then see how did you do. And by the way, after the backtest, you can do a post backtest analysis when you just go back. So you leave all your trades here. So I don't remember if this one was the trade, or maybe even not. Maybe even this was the first trade. Yeah, because it took us out. Okay, I really don't remember now. Okay, let's say it was a trade, and it took us out. And yeah, and then you record and just play the price again and see what could you do differently. Okay, so let's continue with our testing. So this range created a new break and now created a new break. So now the new protected high is this one. This is a structural protecting high, and overall we are looking to take the price lower to this, and we need, so right now to enter shorts is still possible, but I would like to see at least some kind of a pullback on daily. So yeah, you see the price is just pushing to the downside, creates this internal break, and this is, by the way, something about management. Yeah, if you give a bit more room to breathe, then you will have even higher RR trades. So again, market can push and is pushing to the downside, but it became a bit rangy. I mean, I don't know, I don't want to participate in this. So yeah, this is a clear, really clear shift of structure, break of structure, but it's just too low. It has so many consecutive shifts. I'm almost sure that this one will break for a redistribution model, which we discussed in the beginning. So let's see. Yeah, so we are breaking, and this is completely natural, but does it make us bullish? Not yet, of course. We have our, actually we have a new protected high on daily, and this is it. This is the new protected high, and this one is the second one. So on weekly we are of course inside of this bearish push, and so basically until this leg is holding, I would like to remain bearish on 4 hours. So I need some bearishness on 4 hours to step in. Of course, as you can see, it would be possible to enter here to the bullish side based on these shifts, but then if you go break even here, you are break even, then you re-enter here, break even from this zone, re-enter, break even, trail to here or maybe to here, and now you will most likely be liquidated if you are trailing with the bush. Yeah, something like this. And now if the idea is that we're still inside this bearish trend, this is a redistribution. Now our idea should be to remain bearish until this holds, and we have some zones here to mitigate. Let's see if we have the entry possibility. So this is Asia, this is London. So ideally we will have a tap here. This zone is better than this because everything is mitigated. So while the price created itself, it went down, up, down, up, down, up, mitigating everything, then created this fractal break, mitigation of this zone, and a clean break, clean zone. Okay, so maybe we will have a tap. But we don't. What happens? What happens? The price is just pushing to the downside. So it created this push, took out these highs, and then created this push to the downside, which would be a really, really nice trade. But unfortunately it missed, and on this time frame there was no entry possibility for me. I wanted to have this deeper tap for better protection. But this is something I mentioned in the beginning, that if you want to trade gold, stocks, silver, you need to be aware of such moves. So it's just consolidation, and then falls. So we were able to catch something like this here, but this one missed. So now too late for shorts. because we just broke to the downside. Now we need at least some kind of pullback, at least for me, for my strategy. I mean, I understand that we can push to the downside, but I need to see some pullback happening. And for longs, I don't want to take any longs because we are really bearish from higher time frames. So this is the first pullback that we have, but because we are so overextended overall, I mean, this can work, but look how aggressively we come into the zone. So you need to have some filters to step away from lower probability setups. And again, for me, we have a lot of fractal shifts and even real structural shifts, like 1, 2, 3, let's say 4, 5, 6. So even after 5, you can expect some redistribution. So let's see how the price will react. Oh yeah, it's breaking. Okay, great. So now we are breaking to the upside, but we are doing it inside the daily impulse. So now I want to see any bearishness. So even something like this would be nice, but okay, let's see if we will have a tap. So we have a tap into the zone. So a zone for me here is this week, okay? This week is unmitigated in itself, and we have a reaction from it. Of course, the problem with such kind of entries is that they are happening inside this bullish push. So yeah, we are still bearish, but we have these zones to mitigate. So this could continue to the upside, and compare this to, so this entry was kind of in a bullish structure, but I mean inside structure, but it was much more compact, you know. Here we have really confident shift to the bullish side, and to be honest, I would like to skip this zone, give it one more shift to the bearishness, and if it will shift to the bearish side and then give me a mitigation, this situation will be much more different. We will already have some movement to the bearish side, so let's keep this opportunity, even if it will work out. But it breaks, so it was a good decision to skip it. And now it breaks to the downside. Now it breaks to the downside, and now I'm much more confident in the bearish idea. And my first bearish zone could be this one. And you see, yeah, you see what the market is doing. It's creating down push, some pullback, mitigation of a bigger zone, mitigation of a hidden zone, and on entry time frame, it already started to move down again. So yeah, and now this is a mitigation. Okay, this is a mitigation of a zone after the down move. So this could be my entry opportunity, and I would definitely like to take this entry if it breaks below the body of this candle. So it does not need to close, only break. And if it breaks above, then my next point, basically the last point of specifically this range where I can take trades, is this. So I will either miss, so I can't miss the move now, because if it will happen, it will trigger my entry. Or if it goes above, I just cancel the order and then see if I have a reaction here, and that's all. So maximum I will have 2 losses in this range, and then after these 2 losses, probably we will create a new break to the upside, and then I will enter again with the new ranges. What about the bullish possibility? Again, this specific part is looking pretty bullish. Yeah, you have a shift, some zone left. Yeah, we have structural moves to the downside, and this could be an entry to the bullish side. But because of the high time frames, this would be a really low probability trade for me. So let's see. Okay, great. It just breaks the range, invalidating everything, does not tap us in, and that's why I recommend sometimes using sell stop, buy stops to avoid, to avoid the occasions where the price is just pushing through the zones. And yeah, you will see this happens a lot. So there is no this last confirmation of your zone. And after liquidation of this, I'm fine with following even inside structure on 4 hours. Again, let's remember that if it wants to run, if it will run, but yeah, I want to wait a bit more. Yeah, so we have a mitigation here from this internal shift of this fractal structure, and now break to the downside again inside of this overextended, probably caused by news move, which news should not actually they news are not changing usually the structure overall. Yeah, so news are used for manipulations in the market, but overall structure can be respected like in many cases. Okay, so we have a mitigation of a zone, but look how we are coming into a zone. We came into a zone, closed in it, and most likely after this the next move will be to the upside. But if we manage to go below this candle, then I'm happy to take it. And so if it will not happen, then most likely the zone will be broken. Interesting. So the zone is still holding. The price action overall is really rangy, so to be honest, I'm willing to give it one try, but again, this kind of market is really hard to predict, especially if you are trying to use tighter stop losses. So let me check the session. So it will soon be London opening. Yeah, and the zone is just breaking, okay? So there is nothing for me there. And overall, let's check with the price. Until this holds, we can be bearish. And yeah, by the way, you see this bullish entry that I was like criticizing can work, and it could give some profits. Already we can trail to this one. Yeah, and that there is our protected high. So let's wait for a real structural shift on 4 hours, since we have a lot of bullishness, or a break of a daily zone. So you know what? We have this zone, and yet we don't have a structural shift on 4 hours, unfortunately. But we have a real confident inside structure shift, and now fractal break with this wick. So I don't consider wicks as a break usually, but if they are with the overall bias, which in my case is bearish, then I can consider them at least as a sign of some bearishness, that the price wants to go even lower. Let's give it one more move to the upside for deeper mitigation. Okay, and now if after this deeper mitigation it wants to go to the downside, I'm willing to give it one chance. Okay, only one chance in this zone. It's pretty shitty, to be honest. It's just fractal zone, but we are near the protected low. We mitigated some zones from 4 hours, I mean refined zones from daily here, and yeah, let's try. Okay, so we have a tap, and let's see. Oh, it's Asian. Yeah, it's Asian. Yeah, it's Asian range. Probably will so most likely it will take me out. So my trades, if they work, then we will have something like this, just a move. But when the price is consolidating, then it means that most likely than not, it will go and liquidate everything to the both sides of some kind of a range it's in. Okay, Nice. We have a move to the downside. For the break even, it's too early for me because this is my zone. This is my entry right in the zone. So even if the price wants to stay bearish, it can do this easily. So we'll wait. So hopefully we will have a break to the downside now, and then I can move to break even or even trail. But no, so yeah, don't like this trade. I really don't like this trade. Yeah. I mean, okay. I mean, technically it's still valid. I mean, it's still holding, so it didn't take me out. And the zone is perfectly holding with the bodies, so this was a liquidity grab. And because of this reaction, now the zone really can work. But because of this ranginess, I don't want to hold it anymore, so I will just close. Oh, move to break even. Okay, and then if we break, okay, then I will trail. Yeah, it's definitely should be a break even. Yeah, it's a break even trade, and I'm happy with that because it's just a shitty price action. And now we are inside this range. Okay, I don't want to enter here. I just expect it to continue liquidating everything. Yeah, like this, liquidate to the upside. Now maybe liquidate to the upside even more. And now we are near. Oh, okay. I saw that we are breaking this range, but let's just see if it. Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't give us anything. So anyway, so looking back inside of this, maybe there were some possibilities to the bullishness, for instance, here, but not for me, okay? Because I want to have some confluence with the daily or with the weekly, which we are having at the moment. Yeah, so what we have in the moment is weekly breaks to the downside, 2 breaks to the downside from the weekly. So like this and like this, and now we are here. So now we are here mitigating the higher zones on weekly. And so until this, and basically until this holds, okay, I will be more bearish on the market. And given the fact that we created so big impulse to the upside in an overall bearish market, and now we can expect some pullback. And when it will happen, maybe it will transfer to a bigger impulse to clear these lows, okay? So let's wait for some real structural shifts on 4 hours. Let me quickly record this break even. And this is what I recorded. So I updated this trade because it ran to 15R. And it was possible to trail to 7R, maybe if given more room to breathe. So maybe you could trail to this high to then get liquidated. Then you have a redistribution, which if confirmed, you can maybe trail to like this one, so something like this. But again, it's a really long-term trailing style. And then this break even ran to 1.6, and if trail aggressively, it could be trail to maybe 1 if aggressively, okay? And now let's wait for some shifts to the downside in the anticipation that the weekly bias will work out. So these are first fractal shifts to the downside, but basically because of this uptrend, I expect it to be only a reaccumulation to move even higher, okay? And if I'm wrong, then fine, I will have my entry later. Yeah, so it seems that I am wrong, I mean, about this idea, but now this shift confirms the overall bearishness from the weekly, okay, from the weekly. So basically, I'm okay with giving it one try. So let's have one more candle. Yeah, so this kind of candle will probably break the zone, and the zone is pretty weak. But if not, I want to give it one chance to give it, to go below. Again, okay, if it goes below, I'm okay with taking this loss, okay? Yeah, it will it will most likely be a loss, but let's see. So yeah, because of how still bullish the 4 hours are, I mean, let's give it one more candle. Okay, so now it's a bit weird. I needed to go away for several minutes, and now I basically I remember like I was here, but now it's triggered. Well, okay, I will rewatch the recording because I don't know, maybe I'm just a bit tired. Okay, so if we break below the low, it will be a break even, but I don't know if I told you, but I don't like this trade too much. Okay, definitely a break even for me here, and then trail. Okay, now this is a time where you need to decide either you want to go aggressively like in the previous one when I described it, or you want a low and then a high and then trail. Again, is it possible that it will go down? Yes, because we're still holding the weekly high, and these lows can all become targets. So let's stick to the rule that we described in the beginning. Wait for some highs to create themselves. Okay, so we have a high and this is a trail. Okay, this is a trail. So we have a confident break and this high, so we can trail to this one, just something like this. Okay, so we have one more break and we can trail either to here or to here. So I mean, I'm sure that both of them will be liquidated pretty soon, but I will give this one for a trail, just to give it just a little bit room to breathe, you know. Yeah, so this push should definitely liquidate me. Yeah, he's still in the trade, but yeah, you know. Okay, I mean, technically I'm still in the trade, so oh, I mean, okay, technically I'm still in the trade, so right now after many consecutive shifts, I will just trail aggressively with the impulse candle. So you see what I'm doing here, I'm mixing the trail management with the impulse candles and the lows. So after several consecutive lows, I have a trail. Yeah. Okay, trail to here, to this low, to this high, sorry. Okay, great. Maybe to this one. So at this point it's a bit discretionary. And they take us out at this point, only to what? Only to break higher. Okay, so let me record. Okay, so let's continue from here. I recorded 5 RMFE, this profit, and because basically after this big pullback, I would not like to hold it. And what we have is a market that is moving down, creating this redistribution, and facing this zone on daily. So can it work? Yes. The overall target still here. So until this holds, I mean, until first of all this high holds and this leg holds, I can still follow shorts. Some longs are also possible, but again, higher time frames are still really bearish. So let's see if we will have some shifts to the downside. Okay, something like this. What I don't like about this impulse is that we are coming after this local uptrend, then the zones, so there was this clear zone, but it's just mitigated by all these wicks, all these candles, and we are coming in real aggressively. So I will better skip this one, even if it works out, but it seems it will just break. Well, let's see. So now it looks more like a distribution. So when we come, when we break to the upside, to the downside, again to the upside, to the downside. And I want to have a bit more confirmation. So if the idea is to go to the downside, I need something more clear. So this already can work out, but look at the place where we are right now. So we are right now in this box, basically. And usually what the price does is that it starts to expand the box, liquidating everyone. And then at some moment later, it can go in the direction. So I need, basically I need something like this. I need something like this. But it's not what we have here. So we'll wait again. Yeah, so this zone is starting to work out. So if we will now come back to the zone, so we already mitigating this bigger zone, and of course ideally it will come back all the way up here to create, to close the chain of these zones. Okay, we have a tap into a zone. If we go below this candle, one try in the zone would be enough for this, and then if we break above, then we will probably take everything here, even if we want to go low. Okay, so we break below from this chain, and as you can see, if you trail the price a bit to the left side, then you can see that the chain was building from these zones. So this was the first zone, then this break, then so I'm using these wicks as their own zones, unmitigated zones, which as you can see hold it with the with the bodies, then internal break. So you see this is a kind of a step, a chain, and this could be too early for a break even, but I mean I would better go break even here, because the close is really confident. If the price will come back here, it will most likely go to liquidate my stop loss. So this is a break even level now. Yeah, you see, and this is a break even trade, and the price didn't want to go down and it just went up to liquidate everything here. So still pretty bearish overall, but I need to have at least fractal. So this is first fractal build up, which can result in the down move. Yeah, so it's possible to go from here, but I don't want to do it. I want to have a deeper mitigation. So let's see. And ideally we will hit this zone as the last unmitigated zone. Yeah, we have a tap, and let's give it a try. So we had, again, this is still pretty rangy, but at least we have some bearishness already coming in the market, so we can step here. I have this price. Let's give it, you know, one more confirmation layer, So we need to go below this candle, below this one, and we do it. And starting to go to the downside from this zone, but still really early to go to break even in my opinion, so we'll wait. Starts to range just below the entry point. Again, this is not a good sign for a trade, because what it means, it creates a lot of liquidity to the both sides of this range, and usually when it happens, it means that the price is not ready to go. Why? Because it's not going, and if you have a box, then you can wait for liquidation. But again, my break-even level for this trade will be this. Yeah, so this definitely should be a -1 already. Yeah, and that's fine. So let me record this too. So recorded this too, and let's move forward. So if I want to have my bearishness, I need to have some shifts to the downside first. So again, the problem with everything here is that we can't take some bearish trade here, but you see what happened here is box, liquidation, liquidation, box, liquidation, maybe liquidation once again. Then, so I don't want to take this kind of trades. I need to wait for a better situation. So of course we can see that we mitigated this, and again, let's clean up the chart a bit. I mean, I need for bullishness, I need this to break up. For bearishness, I need one more break to the upside and then to the upside, or something like this. Yeah, so okay, so this becomes more and more bearish. It would be great to have this pullback to this zone, but if this is a move, then we realize that we probably will not have it, and maybe we will even fall from this fractal shift. Yeah, so definitely it would be great to liquidate this high, but if this is a move, then it will just fall. Okay, great. Oh, nice. Can do anything with it. The wick is too big. If I enter here, there will be no protection, so we'll just wait for next price action to develop. Yeah, starting to fall from here. So let's give it a try at this place. So if we go below, maybe we will have some kind of profit trailing. And if we go above, then we understand that we are inside this leg, and this is the next zone for mitigation. And that's it. So -1 here, and now we are in the zone again, coming in real aggressively. It can hold, so let's check the daily. And the daily we have this inside leg, still looking for taking out everything here. So let's give it a try. If we go below something here, then we can step in the market. So we have a tap. So this, okay, we have a tap, and at the same time we are mitigating this zone. So I need to break this for my break even. So no, not a break. Yeah, this real range, so that's why I just will move to break even right now. Okay, especially given the fact that we are starting to build this chain of inside structure on 4 hours, and if it happens that we come all the way here, then the chances that we just go and liquidate everything, so don't want to have a loser here. So this will be a nice break even, most likely. Yeah, this is a break even. And we go even higher to mitigate what? To mitigate this some parts here and maybe this week. So let me record this and let's continue. So in my opinion, this is pretty ugly. This is pretty weird and not clear. But yeah, mitigating this zone, mitigating this week. So creating a chain, yes. Created this. This mitigated this zone. Created a zone in itself. And now mitigating. Going lower. So some bearishness is confirmed here with these chains. But basically the entry point would be pretty weird to have, you know. But of course you can combine it with the fact that you have this impulse to the upside, and now you are high up in the impulse in an overall bearish market. So maybe it was worth to take one entry from here. Now you have a fractal shift of structure, and maybe we will fall from here the same way we did from here. Let's see. Okay, we have this redistribution. This zone is not of a high quality, so let's wait for a deeper zone to mitigate, to give us a mitigation. So the main volume for manipulative move up came from these candles, so most likely we will have a tap into them. Okay, so just break into the downside, and we have this zone, and this zone comes pretty low, but it comes after the redistribution. So let's wait for one more candle, and if we go below this one, we can protect like this and target overall to this low, to this daily low and weekly. So let's see. So this is a break-even level now. So if we create a high and then break, so the high is not that clear, to be honest. This is a swing, but you know, I want to have one more high and then a break, because or with this confident break, okay, let's trail it to cover at least some losses. Whoa, nice. Okay, so this is definitely a new candle. We just trail above it, and that's all, because if the market will break this, it will most likely go even higher after the news. And here, so yeah, just because of this candle is pretty hard, but I decide to trail to this high. We have pretty confident move from there. So like this. And now after this, I want to trail even more aggressively, because if we want to break this low, then we will push from here. But if we start to be more rangy, then this position will be more like almost certainly liquidated. Yeah, you see, so we're starting a push up. So what are the chances that the price will just react from here in this overextended move in the bottom of the impulse already after many shifts to the downside? I mean, I give much more chances for it to go up. Yeah, you see this what happens, like a range, and now compensate for this move. So let me record this one. Okay, I recorded this one, and let's look further. So what we have is a possible redistribution on 4 hours, and we are holding the structure from daily from this zone. So until this holds, we can look for bearish entries, or if it breaks, then we will reevaluate. So don't want to participate in this bullishness, just wait. It looks like we will break it. So it's just not clear. Everything is this one is overextended, this one just mitigating this, and I don't know, compare for instance, compare this entry and this one. So yeah, like technically we have a break, we have a mitigation, and this could be a possible entry. But recent price action is this one, and here we have a break, a mitigation, possible entry, and recent price action is also bearish. So you see, this could be a big difference in the overall context. So just don't want to touch it. Yeah, it still works, but never gave a decent or maybe some break even. So again, and now this kind of price action is remind me about this box, which again I don't want to be a part of this box. Yeah, so we are just breaking the zone, so the zone is cancelled. Let's quickly look if we had any bullish possibilities. So nothing here, something here for a break even. This mitigated this one, but never gave an entry. This was an entry, but again, the context is pretty weak. This was kind of an entry, and so nothing significant missed there, I guess. And now what we are doing, we are breaking on internal basis on weekly, daily break into the upside once, and we have this zone. So again, it could be different things, but let's do this. We're still bearish on weekly, so until this weekly high is holding, we can look for some bearishness. Yes, we have only, and you see we have only one shift to the upside on daily, so this could be treated as redistribution, something like this. So we have one shift and then a move to the downside, and we already is building this inside structure on 4 hours. But since we are bullish on daily from the one break to the bull side, let's wait until at least one real shift happens. Okay, yeah, so this is first real shift of structure on 4 hours based on the pullback rule. This could be a zone and higher one. So A good one would be even, of course, the higher, but as you know, if gold runs, then it runs. So don't want to use this one because we have better zone just above, but it can work. Yeah, so you see, yeah, this is a problem. It's just breaking. Possibility was maybe here from the fractal structure or here, but now it's just breaking, and let's see. This is too low in the price action. It can work, but it's just too low. Yeah, it would be a break even. Now it's a box, so let's just wait through this box and see where we breaking. Okay, we are breaking to the upside, so let's check the daily. So weekly we are after the impulse starting a pullback, so maybe this pullback can go and tap into the zones. Daily, creating really clear break to the upside after some reaccumulation, so back and forth, and after a really big move to the downside. So again, even if it's overall bearish from higher time frames, we have some reasoning to go higher and really clean price action on 4 hours. So until this kind of bullishness holds after the box, we can follow bullishness. First place to follow it is this fractal structure, but let's say this, usually after first shifts to the bullish side, we have at least some liquidation of the lows. So it would be great to see it, yeah, something like this. So we are liquidating the lows and right now mitigating this zone, which is a part of a chain from here. A move down, down, down. Let's wait for one more candle. So this is all one big zone, and this could be a refinement. So now I want to either have a tap or development of fractal structure like this, and then we'll give it one try. Okay, so this is basically really nice. We have a tap. Okay, so this should be an entry. So now we will consider this as a fractal structure, but basically this should be an entry. Let's pretend that this is not pretend, but this is fractal structure on 4 hours. And now if we will come back, okay, we come back into the zone. If we go, let's say, above this week or above this week, you know, if the price manages to push higher, then fine, and we can use this as a protection. Okay, if I don't know if I get a tap, but let's record it as a -1. I don't know. Yeah, probably I will have a tap here. So recorded this -1, and now if we go above this candle, fine, we're still playing from this refined zone, and that's all. If this one will not work out, then this is maximum that we can have from this zone. So we have a tap. One more candle to break this high, to go break even, or more candles if it wants to break. Yeah, definitely at this place I don't want it to be a loser. We have some internal low here, so if the price really wants to go up from here, then it should go from here basically. I mean, it can play in the zone, but I don't want to see it coming here, because if it will go here, then what is the reason? What is the reason? You have this zone, internal one, mitigating. If you go below, everything is mitigated. Then where the price will go, if it comes back, it will go for these unmitigated zones, for this overall fractal big move. Yeah, fractal to the upside, I mean. or to the higher time frames. So this is a break even. And now I need one more low and then a break. So this is a low and that was a break. I will trail to here. So we can say that this is a swing, this is a low. Let's trail to here. We have one more break, so trail higher. Of course, again, problem with this trail style is that really soon we will have a reaccumulation like this. Maybe now, maybe no. So we are mitigating the zone, showing some stoppage in the price, but probably it will take us out. Yeah, given going deeper. Yeah, and this is our trade. So let's record 3.6. And I think this will be the last trade for this session. Let's just see how this trade develops. Okay, interesting. Yeah, you see that if you give a bit more room to breathe, then you can trail to this low, to this low. So let's see. I just skip. Let's say then you can trail to this one. And basically then if you hold maybe this or this, and then you have a liquidation. So let's record this high as an MFE, so 18. Let's make it blue. Rio 2x B. Okay, and then you just analyze what you have. Of course you need more trades, so this just 11 or 10 trades, but you need more, like 100. Then you analyze how much your trade run, what was the possible management. So for instance, for this one, if you give it a bit more room to breathe, you can easily have 10 or like 15, 16. So let's record like 10, 15 if a little more room to breathe. And then you see, then you just go back on the video, on the journal, see how you enter, where you missed a trade, what was the possibilities, and so on and so on. So just do analysis, and in this way you develop your edge and your pattern recognition. So that's all for this session, and I hope it was useful.